Hello. Wow. I'm so happy to be surrounded so many people who love Jesus, who love God. Can I have an amen for that? All right, thank you. Thank you. I want to take a moment to thank Yunwen inviting me here and the opportunity to share my message that God put in me. I truly believe that message is going to be a blessing to you and it's going to help you. So, anyone here is ready to hear what God put in me and share to you? Ready? All right, good. Turn to your friends and tell them we are ready. All right, good. All right. Yes. Let me start with a question. Have you ever faced a challenge so big, so complex, so overwhelming, you don't even know where to start? If yes, can you raise your hand? You don't? You don't have challenge? All right, okay, so maybe 60%, something like that. That's good. So would it be work-related? Relationship? Health? Or finance? Yeah. The reason I ask these questions is because I'm going to share a framework with you that can help you to overcome any of your challenge that you face in your life or in your business. Would that be useful to you? Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about myself first. I was an actor, a dancer, worked with some very famous stars in Hong Kong. And during my time in university, I was in the top 10% in the entire engineering faculty every single year. When I graduated with my first class honor, I started working in the movie industry, work on some very interesting project, some very important project. Then when I graduated with my first master's degree, I worked in the gaming industry. I worked on many, many games on almost every game platform and every genre. And my major responsibilities were building teams, building studios, and managing them. So by my late 20s, I felt like I had it all. Career success, beautiful wife, and our first baby boy. Whatever I set my heart to do, I achieved it and more. I felt like I'm the master of my destiny. I'm in control. But that's only I thought. The perfect world all changed. It's 2008. I'm in the doctor's office. The doctor tells me my 2-year-old son is autistic and he will be autistic for his whole life. What? Autistic? Autism? What's that? His whole life? But in that moment, I felt lost. I felt crushed. Who am I as a father? Who am I as a man? Does anyone here experience something similar? That everything was so well, so smooth, but suddenly everything turns upside down and inside out? That moment begins the most difficult journey of my life. But it also led me to my most powerful discovery, that even the most terrifying challenge follows a pattern that once you see it, it gives you the power to fight back. I learned that pattern not only for my personal challenge, but for my experience managing teams, managing studios, and the creation of countless game worlds. It is that the way we overcome our biggest challenge is exactly the same way we beat a difficult game, no matter it's a personal challenge or a professional challenge. who love play games, who love to win. Yes, right? Yeah. So we overcome our biggest challenge is exactly the same way we beat a difficult game. That realization led me to a framework for approaching any challenge, no matter how big, how scary it seems. A framework I called Slay the Dragon. Slay, S-L-A-Y. Think of these 4 essential elements that all has to be present for a great victory. Let's walk through them one by one. The first one is S, spot the dragon. In almost every adventure games, your goal is clear. Defeat the final boss. Here, I call it the dragon. But once you start the journey, you quickly learn the truth that you even reach the final dragon, you have to defeat many smaller dragons along the way. And most of the time, the most difficult one are those hiding inside ourselves. The dragon of doubt, the dragon of fear, the dragon of wanting to quit. And that's exactly how our biggest challenge works in real life. When we spot a major dragon, like a tough relationship, a major career setback, or a difficult family situation, most of the time, this challenge is so big and overwhelming, most people might just want to quit. They might close their eyes and pretend they never saw that dragon. And for those people who decide to escape, they can never slay their dragon. So our real journey to slay our dragon can only start when he has the courage to spot all the other dragons that come with the main one, including our fear and our desire to escape it all. And that's just the same for myself. When the doctor told me my son is autistic, I thought my final dragon was my son's autism. But later, I found out I was wrong. Let me bring you back to 2008 in the doctor's office. The doctor told me my 2-year-old son is autistic and he will be autistic for his whole life. My first reaction is denial. I take him to different experts, hoping someone will tell me it was a mistake. It wasn't. I'm someone who can achieve whatever I set my heart to, and now I'm the father of a son who is totally unresponsive to whatever I said or did. I'm no longer in control, and all my beliefs, my ego, my entire world came crashing down. And I responded in the worst way possible. I escaped. I buried myself in work. I worked longer hours, took more business trips, just anything to avoid facing the reality at home. I thought more money and more success would fix everything. But of course, it didn't. When my son got older, my stress, my anxiety, and my pain just got worse. But my son has huge potential. He's smart and capable of so many things. But he broke my heart that he could not understand basic questions or respond to my love. I often felt responsible for not providing what he needed when he was younger, which I believe limited his growth. And every time, when I saw other parents easily chatting with the children, sharing jokes and stories, my heart ached. I felt like I failed as a father. I failed as a man. I felt like my entire life was a failure. Then one day, it's 2022. The room is full of people. There's a grand piano in the middle of the stage. My son, now 16, is performing there. He finished, Everyone clapped. It's beautiful. I'm so proud. I walk up to him, wanting to hug him. He doesn't respond. He doesn't even look at me. And at that point, the emotion of shame, guilt, and regret all flood into my brain. And in that moment, I make a decision. I have to change. And only after then, I spot my dragon right at where I escaped. It's my fear, my shame, my guilt, and my resentment. And only after I spot my dragons and face them head on, my journey of slaying my dragons finally started, and it changed my life. And I realized I wasn't the only one who escaped. Let's look at Moses. We think of Moses as a brave leader, holding a staff, parting the Red Sea, and tons of miracles. But that's not the Moses when God found him at the burning bush. He was a man in hiding. He was hiding from his past, hiding from his potential, hiding from the world. He had spent 4 decades escaping. When God appeared at the burning bush and gave him a mission, go to Pharaoh and bring my people out. Now, did Moses say, hey, yes, Lord, I'm ready? No. Even though it was the creator of the universe speaking to him, he made excuse after excuse. He said, who am I? Why would you choose me? What if they don't believe me? Lord, I'm slow of speech and tongue. Please, find someone else. Moses was standing in front of a miracle, but he was looking at his own feet. His final dragon was Pharaoh, the most powerful king on earth. But he couldn't even leave the desert because he was hiding. He was hiding from his own dragon, his dragon of insecurity. Only after he spot his self-doubt and face it head on, he could go back and lead his people to freedom. Now, let's look at Peter. Peter was known as the rock. He was the only disciple who stepped out of the boat and walked on water. He was the one who said, Jesus, I will die with you. He was brave, he was loud, and he was confident. But then it came the night Jesus was arrested. Peter faced a dragon he never expected, the dragon of shame. 3 times, when people asked him, do you know this man? And 3 times, he denied it. Peter didn't just fail, he collapsed. Then, what did he do next? He escaped. He went back to the sea. He tried to escape back to his old life, back to his fishing boat, and back to being just a fisherman. Because he couldn't face the man he had become. His journey as a leader couldn't continue until he met Jesus on the beach and spot the real dragons. He had to face his failure, his shame, and his guilt head on. Could he finally can start his journey to slay the dragon and to lead thousands of people and change the world? How about you? Is there any challenge you pretend you never saw? What's the name of your dragon? What's the dragon getting in your way? If you are escaping from your challenge, try to spot the dragons at where you escaped. They are very likely hiding there. Now, turn to your friend and tell them, remember, you can slay the dragon. Yes, we can slay the dragon. After we spot the dragon, we can prepare for the fight. The second element is L, level up your gears. In any game, our hero cannot defeat the final dragon or all the smaller ones when we are still at level 1. We have to complete quests, gain experience, find better tools, learn new skills to prepare us for the fight. And that's exactly the same in our real life. When we first face our main dragon, we are not ready to win in that first encounter. We have to level up. It means getting new knowledge, learning new skills, or acquiring new mindset so that we are strong enough for the dragons to come. In my story, after years of escaping, the first gear I have to acquire was the most difficult one. My decision to stop running and my courage to truly face my reality. Then I tried to learn as much as possible about autism. I read books, took online courses, spoke with parents who raise happy autistic children, and learned from experts who work with autistic kids. I even explored how technology and AI could help autistic individuals. Then the most important gear I have to build is my patience. I have to learn how to get into my son's world instead of forcing him into mine. It meant showing up every single day, not as a manager, trying to fix a problem, but as a father, learning to connect. And I have to level up my own resilience, let go of my ego, and find strength in the discipline of being present every single day. For Moses, he spent 40 years as a shepherd, but when God called him to lead, he was still trying to use his own gears. He was looking at his own mouth, his own hand, and his own history. He kept telling God, I am not the right guy. So Moses had to level up from self-doubt to total obedience. Then he realized it wasn't about his own strength, but God's. As it says in the 2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is sufficient for you, for the power to make perfect in weakness. Only after Moses stopped looking at his own weakness and start looking at God's strength, could he finally be ready to move forward to slay the dragon. For Peter, on the night Jesus was arrested, he tried to slay the dragon with wrong gears. He was relying on his own willpower. He told Jesus, I will never leave you. But willpower is a level 1 gear. It's fragile. It breaks under pressure. After Peter failed, he was paralyzed by the dragon of shame. And he realized by trying harder isn't enough to slay that dragon. He had to level up. Peter's level up happened on that beach. He moved from relying on his own strength to receiving the gear of the Holy Spirit. Then he stopped to try to be brave on his own and try to rely on God's power. That's how he acquired the gear of true courage, which he needed to lead the church to change the world. How about you? What gears you are trying to use today? Are you trying to fix your problem by just your limited willpower? Are you trying to slay your dragon by just your own strength? Sometimes our greatest level up isn't about getting more human skills. It's about acquiring the spiritual gear of obedience. When we stop looking at what we lack and start looking at God's grace, you find you have exactly what you need to slay the dragon. If you are a person of faith, follow God's guidance, obey God, believe in God, follow the steps of Jesus, and you will be successful. If you are not a person of faith, it's okay. You can level up by leaning into the people who believe in you. When you lose sight of your own strength, follow the belief, follow the confidence from your friend, your family, your mentor, or your coach. Let them believe in you as the bridge to help you find your courage to move forward. Now turn to your friend and tell them, remember, you can slay the dragon. Come on. Yes, we can slay the dragon. After you spot your dragon, level up your gears. The next element is A, assemble your team. Our hero in the game almost never win alone. They build a team. They found the warrior for direct attacks. They found the defender to protect the group. They found the hero to keep everyone in the fight. And that's exactly the same in our real world. No one wins alone. We lead a team. We lead mentors or coaches for guidance. We lead experts for specific issues. We lead our friends and families to support us, to heal us when we feel tired or get hurt along the way. In my story, for years, my strategy was to face my dragons alone, but that only left me feeling isolated and lost. The real change happened when I have the courage to stop hiding and start assembling my team. I found other parents with autistic children who really get it. They had walked this path before, and their stories and their advice they gave me was something I desperately needed: hope. I also engaged with the experts, the doctors, the therapists, who could give me a clear plan, like a map for my life task. That team didn't just give me information. They pulled me out of isolation and let me realize that I wasn't alone in this fight. For Moses, even after he leveled up, he tried to do everything himself and quickly became exhausted. When God saw that, God gave him a team. God gave him Aaron as his voice, gave him Miriam to lead the people in worship. Then, later, in the great battle, Moses' arm grew tired. he had Aaron and Hur standing next to him and hold up his arm. And that's how they finally won the battle. Moses was a great leader, but he led a team to hold him up when he was weak. Now look at Peter. Peter wasn't a solo leader. After Jesus ascended to heaven, he didn't lead the first church by himself. He had John by his side when they performed miracles. He had a community of believers who prayed for him day in and day out when he was in prison. And his team was the body of Jesus. It's their combined prayer, not by his own strength, that can finally set him free from the prison. Now, while we are looking at these stories, I want you to look at your own battle. Are you trying to fight your battle just by yourself, which the battle meant for the team? Who is standing on your left today? And who is standing at your right? The dragon wants you to be isolated, because an isolated leader is an easy target. But when you assemble your team, when you find something you trust standing next to you, you find a strength that is much greater than your own. You don't need to put all the weight on your shoulder. Now turn to your friend and tell them, you know the drill? Yeah, remember, you can slay the dragon. And yes, we can slay the dragon. After we spot the dragon, level up your gears, assemble your team. Now is the final and the most fundamental element which drive all the others. Why for yearn for victory. You know, why our hero in the game fight the dragon? To save the world, to protect their people, to bring light back to the kingdom. Then why do we, as players, we stay up all night to finish that game? Because we want to see that ending. We yearn for the feeling of victory. And in our life, we are not trying to overcome our challenge just for the sake of it. We do it for a burning reason. Maybe we want to earn a promotion for better provide to our family. Maybe we want to be a role model for our children. Maybe we want to build a business that we truly believe in. And as Christians, our greatest yearning is to get closer to God and be His obedient children. That's the deep, unshakable why behind wanting to overcome that challenge. That's the purpose beyond slaying the dragon. That's the conviction that makes surrender impossible. Moses didn't face Pharaoh just to win an argument or to show off miracles. His yearning was to be obedient to that vision God gave him. Every time when he had to go back to the palace after being rejected, he was driven by that vision. His yearning was much stronger than his fear to the most powerful king on earth. For Peter, Peter's yearning was just the same. As a disciple, he had a lot of failures. Then, as a leader of the first church, when he was thrown in the prison and was threatened with death, he couldn't stop speaking the gospel. His love for Jesus was a yearning that made surrender impossible. For me, my yearning started with wanting to connect with my son. Do you know what day is April 1st? Yes, the April Fool's Day. Then do you know what day is April 2nd? All right. It's the National Autism Awareness Day. And at the same time, it's my son's birthday. Can you imagine how I felt when I first realized that? I felt like a dark humor. I felt like God was making fun of me. I asked God, why is my son? Why is my family? Why is me? Why you do that to me? As an absent parent, during my autistic child's early years, I experienced a high level of stress, regret, and difficulties that I know many other parents face. I often think that if there had been someone guiding me along my journey, things would have turned out much better. My son would be better, my relationship with my family would be better, and my life would be better. That's why my yearning became my calling to be that person I didn't have. To guide families with struggling children to stop surviving and start thriving. So, what is the path? What have we learned today? We have learned that every great victory follows a pattern. It's a path that it starts when you have the courage to spot the dragons within, not just the challenge in front of you. It's a path that asks you to level up your skills, your knowledge, and your mindset, and to assemble your team so that you don't have to walk it alone. And it's a path that's fueled by the one thing that makes surrender impossible: your yearning for victory. This is the framework. But what does victory actually look like? After I stopped running for my dragon, after I leveled up, assembled my team, and found my true purpose, the relationship with my son begins to transform in ways I never thought possible. Let me share a little moment of that journey with you now. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. I love you, man. I love you. I love you, baby. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea. All right. After I slayed my dragon, I not only reclaimed control of my life, it opened up a whole new world. I now have a career helping families and children overcome their challenge, which gave me fulfillment and joy that I never felt in my 2 decades of corporate life. Success to me no longer means the title I hold, the projects I work on, or the amount of money I make. Success is about the connections I forge, the challenges I overcome, and the positive impact I have on others' life. I finally understood. My biggest challenge became my ultimate solution. And I finally realized it wasn't God doing it to me, is God doing it through me. And ultimately, the greatest success is to fulfill God's plan for my life. Let me end this with the promise of John 16:33. In this world, you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. A decade ago, when I first heard about that, while I was suffering, it hit me hard. And it brought me to Jesus. I want to share this with you because it made me realize while the dragons are real, our victory is promised. So this is my challenge to you. Go home tonight and do the bravest thing you can do. Spot your dragon. Give it a name. Because naming your dragon is the first step to take away its power. And when you face that dragon head on, you don't just overcome it, you transform it. Remember, tell the people next to you, yes, we can slay the dragon and you can slay yours. Thank you.
哇，谢谢 Mantin 啊，这么精彩的演讲啊！大家记住了哈，slay the dragon 的 slay 是什么哈？S for spot the dragon， L for leveling up your gears， A to assemble a team，and Y yelling for victory。Yes。非常，大家听到啊，就是说，你看他的这些词哈，这些 term 都是跟游戏有关。你要 level up， 你要有用 gears 哈，然后去 slay the dragon， 非常好的演讲，然后也是非常感人的哈。那我们接下来我们有这个互动的环节，大家有什么问题的话可以提出来哈，然后我可以递麦克，然后线上的朋友，我们现在线上大概有30多个观众哈，如果你们有问题的话，可以在 chat 里面把问题提出来，我们可以转给 Mantin。
好，谢谢大家去听完我说的。为啥？没有信心，没有信心。
廣東話也可以。
咁啊最好啦，廣東話最好。
講得唔係幾好。我有 teenage girl 想學點同佢哋講嘢咧，有時咧佢哋睇電話太多，你想叫佢冇睇電話冇睇電視咧，佢唔係好開心咯。所以有時唔可以講，而家我都唔講，但唔知唔講又唔好，所以好難有時。
廣東話。
先 repeat 一下问题，别人听不懂。It's okay.
It's okay. So her question is, it's difficult to communicate with your child, teenagers, because they spend most of the time looking at their phone. I know everyone have that issues, I believe. And it's difficult to talk to them because they're not happy if we nag them, ask them to stop. But at the same time, if you don't say anything, they're not stopped. Is that right? Yeah. Yes, that's difficult. So that's how. So a lot of my clients, so I help kids and teenagers in that age, and that's a common pattern. They spend too much time on their phone or things. So I can give you 2 advice. Number 1, try to do more other things. Because frankly, if you're just sitting in your house, nothing else to do, of course, that's the easiest things they can do. Take them to somewhere else, maybe have a family time, watch movie or whatever, visit, travel, even go to church. Then, they cannot watch their phone. That's number one. If you have something more fun than watch their phone, then of course they can choose something better. And number two, yes, it's difficult to talk to our kid ourselves. Assemble your team. Find someone else. Find a cool Uncle Johnny to talk to them, right? It's much easier. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I know it, of course, right? So, yes, find someone else to speak to them as a role model. Sometimes I feel like for parents, the best thing you can do is to be a role model for them. If you are looking at your phone a lot, you cannot tell them to stop. You are doing the same thing. And I know many parents doing that as well, including myself some of the time, right? But just if you want them to stop, you have to be the first one to stop and have them to do something else and find someone else to talk to them. That's the easiest thing. Yep.
哇，Mantin 又可以说广东话，又可以说中文，也可以说英文哈。大家还有没有什么问题？一个很好的机会哈，就是我们这边有个专家在这里。
Yeah. My son seems very shy. He doesn't speak that much and always stay alone in his room, play games. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what I should talk to him, like a role model for him. Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's another one. He locked himself in the room, play games. How old is he?
Almost 20, yeah.
Almost 20.
20, yeah. But he grew up here. I feel like the culture, the root of the culture. I don't know how to educate him, yeah. So to be very honest, yeah.
Yeah.
But let it be, yeah.
So first of all, let me tell a hard truth is when a person getting older, it's a little bit more difficult to change. But the good news is everyone can change. Everyone can change no matter how old you are, like me, like anyone, you can change. But the change, very important, is they have to have the drive by themselves. So I don't know what friends he has. Try to get him to have more people around him, talk to more people, experience more things. So it's difficult to just talk them to have motivation. What you can do for them is give them more experience. Try different things, see more things, go travel, go to eat different kind of foods, experience different culture and the religion, of course. So you never know what will click on them. And if there's something click, then they may have that drive start to burn inside themselves. There's nothing you can just like I talk to them and they suddenly have motivation. That's not going to happen. And it's also more difficult for parents to do it. But anyway, if I can talk to your son, if that's something I can help with. Yeah. All right. Yep. Yeah. So this QR code is kind of my About Me page. That have everything about me, my TEDx speech, my website, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my email, so you can connect with me. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Mantin. That's an awesome talk. Yeah, my question is like this. So I have a coworker. We work closely, and he has a son who is 7 years old, has been suffering autism, and his life is totally upside down about this.
Yes.
So my question for you is that how can I support and help him as a coworker?
So you said he has a son, 7 years old. Is it just diagnosed with autism or diagnosed with autism for a long time?
I think it's been for a long time, but they haven't really do much interference. They just started it.
All right. So, like I said at the most beginning, someone asked me similar questions as you. The best thing we can do for the people around us is to be a ear, to hear, to listen, to hold space. So let them ask them questions, let them vent, let them speak, let them tell you what's the difficulty, what's their challenge. You don't need to offer a solution. Most of the time, you just listen, they feel much better. So that's number one. And if you can, I'm not sure if you have your own kid, try to, visit them, try to talk to his kid as well. For us, the worst thing is people give us advice for something like, oh, you can do this, this, and that, and then your son would be better, things like that. They don't understand, and we don't need that. You just be there, listen, and that's it. That's the best thing you can do for them.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So listening ears.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mantin. You cannot imagine how important your speech for me today, especially for today. Yeah, I have some question. You mentioned your job is about, one of your work is a life coach. It's a kind of brand new concept for many Chinese family. Can you share more about your work and how you can guide people and what the work is about and what kind of people need a life coach?
So actually, I'm not framing myself as a life coach. I frame myself as an executive functioning coach, but I can do life coach. I have life coach certificate. I know what it is. So talk about what I do first, and then I can talk about life coaching. So as an executive functioning coach, I help kid and teenager. My clients is between 11 years old to 20 years old. So I help them. So what is executive functioning? Like, for some people, it's hard for them to initiate tasks, hard for them to plan, hard for them to organize, and some of them to time management, emotional regulation. All these things, they're executive functioning. It's not because there's something wrong, there's issue for them. Some people think they could be because, people on the spectrum, autism spectrum or ADHD, most of the time they have that kind of functioning deficiency. That's why it's what we said. But I'm not seeing them as a problem to fix. I just see them as their brain wired differently. But the truth is, we all wire differently, not just for those who have the label. For some people, they didn't diagnose. For some people, they don't have that label. Even they try to go to diagnosis, but they have some kind of different issues. So I'm helping them to give them different kind of tools, different mindset to get them overcome all this challenge. So that's what I do. And as a life coach, some people may think, oh, basically what is the difference between a coach and a counselor or a therapist? The big difference is counselor and therapist, they're looking in the past. So that's my opinion, not necessarily correct, but that's how I think. They look at the past, they try to find something, oh, there's something wrong in this period of time, or there's something wrong in that person, and then they try to fix it. As a coach, and especially myself, I believe everyone have the potential to overcome their biggest challenge. That's exactly what I say in my talk. A coach responsibility is to try to take that potential out so that they can face the future. So as a coach, we focus in the future. Yes, the past is important, but we focus on the future. We are not fixing anything, but take the potential out and help them to achieve what they can achieve. So that's what I do. And a life coach is similar. So they have some, we talk with the individual, we try to understand their motivation, they try to understand their pattern. when there's something wrong, most of the time they're stuck with some kind of pattern. You can tell if, just an example, if someone, they change to date with the similar kind of person, and they get into similar situation and get into similar failure, right? That's the pattern. So a life coach is help them to break the pattern, to try to get them to motivated, and then they can live a better life. So that's what a life coach do, right? So my biggest work is really helping teenagers, kids 11 to 20, to help them have a better life. That's.
It's on. Yes. It's actually opposite. I feel that I have a boss that keeps nagging at me. So what do I do? I mean, I'm not a teenager anymore. So I was just trying to spot the dragon. Is the dragon my pride? Is the dragon my boss?
So I'm just saying, I'm writing a book, but that book I will focus on teenager first, but it's actually universal for your situation as well. Long story short, your boss, he is kind of like a dictator kind of personality. He leads you to do the things in his way. And so you feel like you are walking on the eggshell, you are kind of afraid he will expose, things like that.
Later on, if he realizes he's not right, and then he doesn't hide his mistake, he will quickly say, "Oh, I was wrong."
Okay.
But then on the spot, it's just keep nagging or demanding what he wants.
All right. So, okay, this could be a very long coaching session, but let me just make it short. Do you like the job you're working on? You're working at?
Yes.
You like it?
The problem solving, everything except for the nagging part.
Have you tried to talk to him?
According to him, that when he realized that I didn't like being nagged at, and among all his team, he is the easiest to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, then how did other people deal with that? And that's why the question that, hey, is that dragon really inside me or something?
So I can't tell right now. This is just limited information, but that's how I think about it. I would try to understand his motivation. What is his yearning? What is yearning for victory? Is that just productivity, efficiency, or just he's that kind of person, he just wants to lag? Is that true? I don't know, but you found it out. If you found out productivity or efficiency is the most important things to him, just talk to him. Hey, if you try to do it that way, I try to do it that way, I can promise that things would happen. Give me 3 months or give me 1 month, whatever. Try to prove it. If you prove it, he found, oh, it's happy. Actually, he don't need to lag you. Then problem solved. But different situations is different. But that's how I think of it. So whenever there's a challenge, 4 things, right? Spot your dragon. Maybe your dragon, maybe his dragon, and find out the yearning, your yearning, his yearning. Assemble the team. Find people on your side. Is there any people can help you? Is that your boss, or another department? I don't know, but you can find it out and level up. Level up means at this point, you find out his yearning, you do that things better to make sure, okay, now productivity increase. So you know that you can trust me and you can stop lagging. So I hope that's helpful. That's how I think about it. Yep.
Okay, yeah, thank you. We have a couple questions from the Zoom, the online audiences. So first question is, How do you reconnect with your autism adult kid when the connection was broken?
Spend time. That's exactly what I said. Try to understand autism, understand the kid, try to get into his world. A lot of parents, including myself at the most beginning, I forced him to get, so do it my way. So this is how it works. This is normal kids do it that way. And that doesn't work. You get into their world and you have to be patient. Patience is the most important thing as well. Show up every day. And that's how you reconnect. Yes.
Okay. The next question from CC on the online. Thank you for your sharing. When your son got diagnosed at 2, what types of autism interventions parents can do to help the young child? Can you please give an example?
ABA, and at that time we went to a school that is a special needs school, and the teacher was pretty good at that time. But a lot of things happened, things changed. We decided to move to the US because we think US have better environment and people have better understanding. So we moved here. But every time when the environment changed, there's another challenge. But we have ABA. We have ABA at that time, speech therapist. We have all those kinds, just normal things an autistic kid can have. Yep.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Oh, wait. So the online audience can.
Did your son graduate from ABA? How many years have you be with the ABA? Did you ever swap an ABA company? Do you usually meet with the BCBA to establish the new goal? How do you find out like he would need a new goal?
All right. Wow. It's very specific questions right now. Okay. We had ABA until right now. We still have ABA and not graduated yet, but we got less and less hours when the kids getting older. And I met with the BCBA every month, once a month, online. And so your question is how long we have been in ABA? We switch. Yes, we switch ABA company a couple of times. Most of the time is because when I change job, change insurance. And frankly, that's the biggest concern for me to change job when I was working in corporate, because I have to make sure, I can still continue the ABA and I can continue the company. And it's actually a very, very big issue every time I found out. And I don't like that. And how to change goal? I think, so first of all, you have to understand your kid, what's their stage and what you want and what they can do. So for now, my goal is, actually I think about the goal. I thought of the goal and I share with them and then have them to kind of arrange around what I think. So first of all, I believe, so my son, he loves cooking and make juice, use blender, make smoothie. But he make it his own way. Actually, he changed as well. At the most beginning, he make the things, I would say, very normal, which looks like very tasty, and we are willing to taste, to drink. But along the way, he gets more, smart? Not really smarter, but he know more. He'll try to put different things. He is very creative, yes. And he, I would say, very resourceful. For example, he know, there's drinks like blueberry smoothie. Blueberry smoothie, what color is it? Blue, right? Then he put some blue color into it. And so that kind of things. So right now, I know he like doing all these things. Then I want him one day, he can use this to serve people. That's my hope and dream. Then how I break it down into, okay, so every time when he want to make something, make rice, make juice, write it down as a recipe, and then have him to follow it. It's okay if in the middle he want to change, put it back onto the recipe. So that's something we are working with. It's easy to say, but to follow through is another challenge. So yeah, so that's how I think about the goal. I talked with the BCBA, and then they kind of change the system around what I want them to do.
So did you guys go to non-public school or public school, like with the IEP that you go through because you moved to America, right?
Yep.
I admit that American has a better, system to help the kid, but then will you fall into a conflict with the school? Because I found like I always, have conflict to school because I want to fight for more service for my son, but then it seems like there are KPI to give you less survey as possible. Have you ever had the experience to work with a special education attorney, or like did you hire an advocate to help your son for the IEP?
Okay, so your question is my experience working with the school system in America. Have I tried to fight for anything, be an advocate or hire a lawyer, attorney for that? Yes. Okay. So we tried homeschool, we tried public school, we tried private school, and right now he is in the public school system. It's a young adult program, some kind of transition young adult program. And we have fight with the school district. We had hired a lawyer in the past. But it's a little bit different because it was something happened in the school, and we feel like they have responsibility at that time. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that here. But I think the biggest advocate, the best advocate is the parents. Frankly, if you hire someone, yeah, they can share experience with you what they did, but I think the biggest advocate is the parent for sure. So I'm not sure if I answer your questions, but that's the experience I have.
Feel like it's like we know our kid best, but then sometimes when you want to argue with the school, like they always say that this is age appropriate and we don't deal with it at school, or that is not academic. Like there's like all kind of excuse that they are giving you that to not provide the service to your kid. I feel like that's the most challenging way. And as a non-English, like first language speaker, I just feel like it's really difficult, how to use the language, to argue with them, to make it like more appropriate, to require that this is something that it will help him. Yeah, and that's why I hired the advocate. But then I always find out it's really frustrated because all the advocate, like, I don't know, I feel like they're very lazy.
Oh, okay. So I didn't really hire an advocate before, but my gut feeling, if you hire someone, they have a kid similar to your situation. Because actually what you can have from them is the experience. And you are still the one to fight for your kid. They are lazy because it's not their kid, it's yours. Right? But one trick you can consider. So you are in California, that obviously you will have regional center, right? So tell the regional center, your case manager, hey, the school district, they reject these things, then you guys have to do this. And then let's see what they say. They will tell you how to fight with the school district. because they don't want to pay that things as well. They don't want to provide the services. They will teach you how to fight with them. Does it make sense?
We do have regional center, but they don't provide advocate service.
No, it's not advocate. You tell them, that's something we want to do, but our school district said it is age appropriate. They are not providing this service. So you guys have to provide this service. And then they will tell you, no, they will teach you how to talk to the school district. Yeah, try that. And again, you hire advocate, you just learn from them for experience. It's not they don't fight for you, because that's not their kid. You are the one feeling you are the one have the burning reason to fight. They just, they feel like, oh, I'm helping you. I'm already doing I'm doing my good job to help you with my limited time. And that's true, right? They have their own priority. So yeah, you are your kid's biggest advocate all the time.
Okay, it's about 2:30 now. Thank you again, Mantin, for sharing your framework to slay the dragon. So even if you have challenges like that, you can still have mechanisms or systems to slay the dragon. Just spot the dragon, level up your gears, assemble a team, and yell for the victory.
Yes.
Let's give Mantin another round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. And remember, we can slay the dragon.